Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today I'm going to be making up some pumpkin cream cheese muffins. Now these are a Starbucks copycat. I found this recipe online and as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to try it, but make it a little healthier and more Weight Watcher friendly with some alterations to it. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. I'll make sure to link the original recipe that I'm gonna be altering down below so you can check that out if you want, and of course give credit to that person. But these just looked really good and I have a lot of fun doing the copycat recipes. I really enjoy trying those out just to see how they taste. And again, I'm altering this one to make it healthier, more Weight Watcher friendly, but it's still gonna be a lot of fun to do that and make it so I don't feel bad about I don't feel bad about eating them basically. But anyway, these look delicious and I definitely wanted to do my own version of them. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. And I thought I would go ahead and take you guys along and hopefully these turn out. I guess if they don't, you won't be seeing this. But anyway, let me jump in and show you what you're gonna need for the ingredients. So first off, for sweeteners, I'm gonna be using the Lakanto Classic. Now this is gonna be in the muffins themselves and then also the cream cheese filling for them. Next up for sweetener, I'm gonna be using some of this Truvia Sweet Complete. Now, as much as I like the Lakanto Brown, this one just has a really nice texture. I don't know if you can tell. But it's very much the same texture as brown sugar, regular brown sugar. So I like to use this for baking a little better or a little more than the Lakanto. So I'm gonna be using that today, and that is gonna be for the pumpkin seed topping on these. Also for the pumpkin seed topping, of course, pumpkin seeds. I've got some raw pumpkin seeds here that I'm gonna be using, and then some Brummel and Brown. This is just my preferred light butter spread. I'm gonna be using this for the topping and then also in the muffin mixture itself. I'm also gonna be using 2 large eggs. And then for the cream cheese filling, I'm gonna be using a 1/3 less fat cream cheese, the entire block, or 8 ounces. And then I've got some no sugar added applesauce. I'm gonna be using a 1/4 cup of this. You're gonna need a whole can or 15 ounces of pure pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie filling, just the plain old pumpkin puree. Back here I've got some flour. You're gonna be needing 2 cups all-purpose flour, a teaspoon vanilla, and then for the pumpkin pie spice, you're gonna need a tablespoon for the muffins themselves and then a 1/4 teaspoon for the pumpkin topping. And this is just my homemade pumpkin pie spice. I just did a video on this. I will link this up above and down below if you want to check out how to make your own. It's really easy and a cheaper way to do pumpkin pie spice. And with as much pumpkin pie spice as I go through this time of year, I definitely like making my own. So in here, I have got a teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, and a teaspoon salt. And I think I have got everything here. So let's jump in and see how these turn out. First thing I'm gonna do is get my oven preheating to 420, and then I've got my 1/4 cup of those pumpkin seeds, and I'm gonna just do kind of a rough chop on these, like that. And then in a small bowl here, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of that Truvia and a 1/4 teaspoon of my pumpkin pie spice. And I'm gonna just get that all stirred together. And now I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside. And then over here in a small frying pan, I'm gonna go ahead and add my tablespoon of Brummel and Brown and let that melt in there. And I've just got this on a medium heat. Now that that's melted, I'm gonna add in my pumpkin seeds. And I'm gonna let those cook in there for, it says, 2 to 3 minutes. And now I'm gonna add in a tablespoon of that Truvia, and I'm gonna stir this all together and let this cook in here for another minute or 2, or until it's caramelized. Okay, I've been stirring this for the last 1.5 minutes or so, and it looks good. So now I'm gonna take that off the heat, and I'm gonna add it to my brown sugar and pumpkin pie spice. Stir that together, like that, and now I'm gonna set this aside until I need it. In a medium-sized bowl here, I am going to add in my flour, which again is 2 cups, tablespoon pumpkin pie spice, and my baking soda, baking powder, and salt. And then I'm gonna just whisk all these together really well. And now I'm gonna set that aside. In my stand mixer, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my 1/2 cup Brummel and Brown and my 3/4 cup Lakanto Classic. And then I'm gonna just beat the 2 of these together for a minute, and it says on medium speed. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my eggs. And I'm gonna beat those in on high for 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna add in my 1/4 cup unsweetened applesauce and my can of pumpkin. And then I'm gonna mix that at a low speed just until it's combined. And now I'm gonna add in my dry ingredients and mix those in just until they're combined. Okay, that looks good. So now I'm gonna get my muffin tin and get it all lined. I've got my muffin tin and I've got it lined with these silicone liners that I like to use. So now I'm gonna take my little ice cream scoop here and I'm gonna just fill all of these up. I've got these filled and I ended up filling 4 more because they're pretty full, all of them. The recipe says 12, but I'm gonna do 16 just because, like I said, they're pretty full and I still have to add the toppings and the cream cheese. So speaking of cream cheese, I'm gonna go ahead and set these aside. And I've got my cream cheese here in a bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and heat that for probably about 15 seconds just to get it a little bit more softened. And then I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of that Lakanto, and that is the Lakanto Classic, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. But I'm gonna go ahead and just whisk this all together until it is smooth. That looks good, so now I'm gonna transfer it to a piping bag. You could also use a Ziploc bag if you don't have a piping bag and just cut the tip off of it. Okay, I've got my cream cheese mixture in here, and then I've got my topping, my praline topping over here. I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle some of that on the tops of all my muffins. Now that I've got those all topped, I'm gonna take my cream cheese mixture and I just cut off the tip of my piping bag, and I'm gonna just put this down a little bit into the batter and squeeze some in. And it says 2 to 3 tablespoons, which is kind of hard to tell when you're piping into something, but I'll try to get it as even as I can. I've got all these filled, so now I'm gonna go ahead and put these in my preheated oven at 420, and it says to bake for 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, while leaving the muffins in, lower the temp down to 350 and bake for another 20 minutes or until muffins are golden on top. So mine may take a little bit less than that extra 20 minutes because I did do 16 instead of 12, but I'll check them around 15 minutes and I will be back once they are done. I let these cook for just about 16 minutes. They're looking good, so I pulled them out. And now you're supposed to let them cool for about 5-10 minutes and remove them from the pan to a cooling rack. So I'm gonna go ahead, let them sit, and then remove them to let them cool on a cooling rack. Okay, it has been several hours. These are completely cooled now. My hubby's here. He's gonna give them a try. I'm gonna give them a try too. Go ahead and break into one of those bad boys. These are, for us, 5 points a piece. Look good. Let's try a bite while you're chewing. Did you put, oh, you put that whole thing in your mouth, didn't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't know that was Weight Watchers.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the nice spice cake flavor, and then the cream cheese, and these are almost caramelized.
They are caramelized.
Yeah.
The little pumpkin seeds,
Yeah.
pepitas, however you say that.
That's really good.
That is really good. That cream cheese. Oh, there it goes. I guess he likes it. That cream cheese pairs really well with that pumpkin. Now, that being said, do they taste like Starbucks? No, I don't think they taste like the Starbucks muffins, but they taste really good. And for 5 points, it's a pretty good sized muffin. For 5 points, it's a little close up. Ooh, maybe not. Definitely worth 5 points in my opinion. All right, guys, that is Copycat Starbucks pumpkin cream cheese muffins. I'm gonna call that a success. I really, really like those. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.